Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So in today's episode, what I want to do is talk about some of the updates that have come into the game since my last episode, and also talk about some of the new cards that are available now for the upcoming event. And we'll go into Bounty Dungeon just to clear some floors and collect some rewards. Now, I wasn't able to get the event card from the last event, Eternal Threat. I also had some technical difficulties recording videos, so I don't have any of that. And I also wasn't able to show the new mechanic that they introduced, which is called Momentum. So what I'm going to do is I'll wait for the next time this card is, or this mechanic's available, and then we'll do a video on that. So let's go into the updates here. So first is the iPhone X update. So if you're an iPhone X user, you'll need to actually reinstall the client or the game in order to see this update, but they've made it so that it now displays full screen, as you can see here. And the second one that they introduced, which I'm not sure if they announced, is now you can have, for every single pack that's available, if you go into the details here and scroll down to the bottom, it actually shows you there's a new section here called drop rate info. So if you click on that, now it tells you the drop rate of all the cards here. Now it's not exactly all of the cards here, so it's still a little vague. And so you can see here, event card, this is the event card pack, the one that you see the day before the event actually starts. They call it day one. And you can see it's basically 100% drop rate. But this is really just telling you what are the guarantees. So you can see that there is, a guarantee of at least a one-time Slayer or Commander Hero on every tier. So there's a chance for getting any of the cards. On tier 6, you'll be guaranteed a feature hero 5-star, and then on tier 7, step 4, you'll get a feature hero 5-star. And so these are the really the guarantee ones, and the same things for day 2 and day 3. But really the general rates is where it gets interesting, where you can see it has, card 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and 6 stars listed with its drop rate. Now this is pretty consistent with what I would expect to see in terms of the rarity of cards and how often you should expect it. And so this is the first time they introduced it. We can talk about what this means, but in case you're interested, it is now available. And then with the new event, also they have some new things have come out, so now is a good time for us to talk about this event. Here there's a lot of things, but if you wanted to see more details, you can go into the news feed here, World of Visions, and also make sure that you go into all of these news feeds so that you can collect some mana as well by reading it. So let's take a look here. And so this is a new Earth Commander deck, and it's going to be very similar or exactly the same as the previous Wednesday deck, the Water Commander Hero deck, but we will talk about some of the differences there. And so the first one is a new Defender skill that they've introduced. We will talk about that when we talk about the cards. There's a World of Visions. So this is actually a new concept that they're introducing, where you have abilities to get other things that you couldn't get before. And so we'll talk about that as well. That includes this concept of the vision beads, which is what you can use, you can collect and buy things that were needed to enchant previous legendary relics, including Dojin's axe that's going to be introduced, or that's going to be available for enchantment this event. Finally, there's also a team slot update. You'll notice now you have actually 2 extra slots. So if you go into your teams here, it goes all the way to the right. You'll notice that where you used to have your last team, there's now 2 more slots open on the right, so you can add more teams, so you can have more variety there as well. Okay, so while I'm there, some people have been asking about it, and I just wanted to make sure you know. Just by looking at your teams here, you're going to see that you actually have 10 slots here, but if you go into your profile, you'll see there's actually 2 additional ones, and that is going to be your Guild versus Guild Defender team and your PvP Defender team. So if you didn't know about this option before, go into these 2 slots here, and then you'll be able to practice against yourself for both either PvP or Guild versus Guild fights as well. And so now let's go into the event that will be starting next in tomorrow, actually. And let's take a look at the cards here, because some of these are very interesting. So the first one you can see here is the Bazaar of Vision. So before we go into collections, this is new, right? So here's a new UI with the Vision shop, and you can see there is a new relic, a Thorn Protector GVG relic, which you can get by collecting 5,000 of these Vision beads. And then you can collect these Alacrity skill stones to then forge an Alacrity enchanted guild versus guild relic, and that's something that can stack as well. And you can see there's going to be this band, which is going to be I think the relics that you need to enchant the Dojin's axe. You can also get legendary relic shards, which is very, very, very rare. So that's good. Good, a good thing that you can get them here. Is I think it's worth it because you can get it for free. And you can see here these are the previously released sort of enchantment relics that were used to enchant other legendary relics such as Ray's staff and the Kata's bow. So if you missed out on those before, now's your chance to get them, and you can collect this through the game. And the Protector's Forge is where you can get the relic here. So this is the enchanted one. So this is the initiative. When a Alacrity is cast, gain a buff that gives a free attack for 20% attack if the player attacks on the next turn. Now, this is the same thing as the last time in the Cosmic Egg Hunt event where you got a Alacrity hammer. I believe these stack. So if you have 2 of those hammers, then you can actually deal a lot of damage if a player attacks on the second turn. All right, now let's go into the event deck. Let's talk about the decks now. So let's talk about the event card since I'm already here. Let's talk about this card. Let me just go back to it. Here you go. And that is Macreen, World Strider. So this is a warrior card, and it's also a god unit. So as usual, it will have 400% damage and health for all Earth God heroes. The battle skill, it'll generate 5 god intensity attacks for 4,000% attack, plus 2,000 for every 5 stacks of god intensity. So this is like Wenday, all right? But take a look here. Here's a twist. Now, if there's at least 1 Earth Power Gem on the board, attack a second time. And if there are at least 3 Earth Power Gems on the board, attacks a third time. So this is now more powerful than Wenday because it'll attack 3 times. It'll have 3 times the nuke. Okay, it contains the same passive Astral Rebirth where you get, instead of dying, you actually come back to life with additional health and also 50% attack. It also generates, God Intensity, and it has a defender skill of Gem Silence, and it counters armor. All right, so this is now a more powerful version of Wenday. So if you get him, then you can use that in your basically in anything, and you can revive. So it's pretty powerful there. And then let's take a look at the free card or the support card here, which is a Guru Pachycept. It's a one-eyed elephant, right? And it's a warrior card. And so let's take a look here. So this is where it's like Askuka, where it creates 2 earth gems now and for the next 2 turns, plus an additional gem for per 20 god intensity, rounded down. The passive, though, you can see it has a heal. So every turn it heals for 5% of missing HP. So this is opposite of Aladdin. For example, Aladdin heals for 5% of maximum HP. This will heal for 5% of missing. So every time you get attacked, whatever amount you got attacked by, whatever amount you've lost, you'll heal for 5% of that, right? So I'm still trying to figure out how this is all going to work out, because I think it really becomes more effective the lower health you have, because you have more missing HP, so you heal more for more. And I actually think, though, if you're using 3 keys at that point, I think you're just going to have unlimited health, okay? So keep in mind, this is a support card that you can get for free, that you can, that's going to be part of the deck that contains heal as a passive. So now you have 2 cards that have passive abilities. Actually, in this deck, every card has a passive. We'll talk about that. And so in addition, it also increases god intensity by 5, and this will dispel toxin. And then let's talk about the ultra rare card. So Sanet, this one will actually be the same as like the any of the ultra rare card, where the battle skill will give you additional boosted attack. This one is 45% at 5 stars, and then it will create power gems as long as a power gem is on the board. And then here it is. It also counters flatline. Okay, and so that's the ultra rare card. And then the ultra rare card, Lacaria. Same thing here, except increases the attack by 60%. So I think this is the most I've seen. And then it creates Power Gem Force as long as a Power Gem is on the board. And it also dispels Flatline. And it has a new Defender skill. So the Defender skill is called Birthright. Invulnerability 9. Chance to add a buff for invulnerability itself for 1 turn on spawn. Okay, and basically that means on turn 1, In GVG, you can't damage this card, so that means you can't just do a power gem swap on turn 1 before the boss has a chance to attack and take him out. Okay, so you're guaranteed to take a hit on this card, by this card, and it also is a warden. Okay, so it's an Earth Warden that you cannot take out on the first turn. And so this is going to be pretty interesting. Although I think if you are strong enough to take a first hit, then you may be able to survive it anyway. But it's a new, it feels like this deck has really sort of everything. Okay, it has a passive heal. It has 3 nuke. It has this nuke option where you can hit for 3 times. Compared to 2 or the 1 before. And then you can also dispel Flatline with this card. And it's a domi type deck that is boosted. It's more powerful. The only thing I would say is it's a commander card. I kind of prefer the Slayer's cards myself. But all in all, I don't know what I can say about this deck other than it's going to be very powerful. All right. And so I did try to get some of the cards. I don't have Malkia and I don't have Lady of Bramble. So what you can see here is I went to the dust shop. Okay, I went to the dust shop and you can see I have pretty much no more dust, and I got a bunch of cards here. Let's go into the latest cards I got. And so, you also see some of these cards I got at 6 stars now because I actually upgraded them once I got them. And so this is a good opportunity to talk about, well, what do I keep and what do I dust? Because I'm going to dust pretty much all of these and the reasons why I would dust them. And so, normally I would have kept Night Sun, but I've gotten a couple of copies of him already, and also because he doesn't have any intensity boosts. Sort of the older cards, they no longer seem as relevant as they used to. Okay, and Katia, it doesn't really do anything for me. Like generally the cards I want to keep are power gem spawners, maybe something that's intensity. So post intensity cards I generally want to keep, and also I want to make sure I get them to at least 5-star or 6 stars before I dust them if I don't have duplicate copies. Now the rest of these, I have plenty of these, and these are some of the cards that are easily obtainable from the dust shop, so I don't have any qualms in getting rid of them. I do want to keep my Monk Orek. It took me forever to get him, so I'm definitely going to keep him. I already have a Archangel Mithril, and I have multiple copies of Anatu here. Yorn Hydra, and then a Blessing, Christine. I don't know how many times I've dusted her now. And all of these cards, Gargalank, same thing. I actually have Hippolyta as 6 stars already, so I'm not going to bother keeping her. She is one of the required cards. So you can see that you can actually get something from the dust shop. And then let's go ahead. And now again, these are all cards that I get a lot from the dust shop, and so I don't have any qualms just getting rid of them. Basically, my general rule of thumb is if I already have a copy of it, then I don't feel bad getting rid of it. And if I don't have a copy of it, I generally try to keep it around in case it's useful for a collection. Okay, and so all of these cards are not useful for me. I'm just going to go ahead and let me double check, make sure I didn't select Monk by accident. Good, and then let's go ahead and dust them for 1425 dust. And so now what we can see here is, now I have some more dust I can use, but I'm not going to do that here. Instead, let's go into Bounty Dungeon. Let's just kind of use this opportunity to talk about it. So you can see I got 3 stars for all of these. The Celestial Floors have become much easier, actually. So you can see I'm at, okay, my relic is full, so forgive me. Give me 1 second here. I'm just going to go ahead and power up. I'm just going to do this really, I'm not really going to put a lot of effort into it because I just want to quickly go through it. You can see I have 3 light mulls now. I'm working on my light defenders. All right, so Celestial Floors. Before, the bosses used to be a lot tougher, but now I find it to be a lot easier, and you can see what's going on here. So I actually focus on light attackers. So I bring in, my favorite is to bring in the Ascended Ray, and here's my setup. I have Ascended Ray as well, and I have the Mecha Muramasa, I have the Celestial Seminole Tech, and then I brought in also Gladia just so that I can use the Honor Intensity, and then I also have the Axe, which is based on I guess it was a Spirit. And so let's go ahead and do a fight here. You can see how easy this has become. Now, not everybody may have the same setup, but if you have if you have the relics to actually get a lot of power gems on turn 1, you can see how you can use this to your advantage. Okay, so Avatar Pride. Now, normally what you want to do is you want to, go through your turn 1 and then use your nuke cards to bypass the fury of the boss, because otherwise you can't really damage him. But I think they've changed it so it seems to be easier to damage now. And now what you can see is all I have to do is do a match here and do a power swap, do a match, and you can see I can take on turn 1. I don't even have to go through the fight anymore. And so this is how I've been able to get through all of my celestial floors with ease. And you can see here with all but one card having the 4 times bounty bonus, it's at over 3 million trophies. And let's see how close I am now to getting the second last reward. So I'm at 25 million, going for 40. And so, with another day or so left, I should have no problem getting that. And so 26 million here. And so, if you can get to the celestial floor, use that strategy and you should have no problem with that at all. And finally, I think, let's see, before I sign off, I just wanted to talk about the team makeup here. So for me personally, I'm not gonna lie, because I already invested in my light Halloween deck, I'm gonna continue to use that. I am very tempted though to at least get this event card. So let's sign off with a pack opening. Okay, so last week I wasn't able to get the event card. Let's see if I get lucky this time. Okay, so let's sign off here and let's hope for the best. Let's go ahead and open a couple of tiers. I think I'm going to stop at tier 3 though. That's probably what I'm willing to go up to. So let's see, we get a key here and we get some of the, so you can see this is where you can get the vision beads, and that's what you can use to purchase some of the things from the bazaar. And let's see. Okay, so a lot of people have been getting this Deep Maw Songstress, and so, but I also saw a lot of people getting the event card on tier 1. So that's not me, unfortunately. Let's go to tier 2. Let's see what we get. Okay. And let's see here. Another one. All right. Not looking good. All right, let's go to tier 3 now. We'll get 500 gems back at least. And I think I'll probably stop here if I don't get it. Okay, so there are the keys. There's the gem. There's the card here. All right. Let's hope for the best. Oh my gosh, no, I don't get that. All right, so I don't get the event card. And I said I was going to stop at tier 3, so I'm going to stop here. So hopefully you get better luck here. I do wish I could get him. I wanted to try the nuke option here. I'll probably sleep on it and then, see if I want to go for it. But hopefully you have better luck than I do. And that's all for this episode. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next episode once the event has started. So take care.